Have you ever watched a video of Japanese grandparents hiking, gardening, or biking in their late 70s and 80s and thought, how are they still moving like that while I feel tired just walking up the stairs?
Maybe you blame your genes, your joints, or your stressful life. But what if one of the biggest differences between your future and theirs is quietly sitting on your plate right now? In many long-lived Japanese communities, elders don't just focus on what to add to their diet. They're very careful about what to leave out, especially certain everyday foods that slowly drain energy, stiffen joints, and overload the heart over time. In this video, we're counting down 6 foods that many Japanese elders try to avoid if they want to stay strong, steady on their feet, and mentally sharp well into old age. Some of these foods are marketed as healthy in the West, but they can secretly fuel blood sugar swings, inflammation, and dangerous belly fat in people over 60. The good news? You don't have to move to Japan or eat perfectly to benefit. You just need to understand which foods to push off your plate a little more often and what to put there instead. As always, this is not medical advice, and you should talk with your doctor before making big diet changes, especially if you have heart, kidney, or blood sugar problems. Before we dive in, I want to ask you something personal. How old are you right now? And which food do you suspect might be slowing you down, but you keep eating it anyway because it's convenient or comforting? Is it bread, sweets, fried snacks, or something else? Type it in the comments below. I actually go through your comments and respond with simple suggestions whenever I can. Your one honest answer might be the nudge another person over 60 needs to finally change one small habit and protect that or independence. Now, let's start our list with a breakfast favorite that looks innocent but can quietly age your body from the inside. Number 6, soft white bread and sweet breakfast pastries.
In many Western kitchens, the day begins with a couple of slices of fluffy white toast, jam, or a sweet pastry warmed in the microwave.
It feels light, quick, and harmless.
But if you visit older Japanese households, you'll notice something different. You rarely see white sandwich bread or sugary pastries on the table. Instead, their morning might include a small bowl of rice, a bit of fish, vegetables, or miso soup.
That's not an accident.
Soft white bread and pastries are made from refined flour that your body turns into sugar very quickly. For someone over 60 whose metabolism is already slower, that fast spike and crash can mean mid-morning fatigue, brain fog, and stronger cravings later in the day. Imagine a 65-year-old who starts every morning with white toast and jam. For the first hour, they feel okay. Then their blood sugar starts dropping.
And suddenly they need more coffee, more sweets, or a bigger lunch just to keep going.
Day after day, this roller coaster puts stress on the pancreas, the blood vessels, and even the brain. Compare that to an older Japanese person who chooses slower digesting foods in the morning, like brown rice, miso soup, a boiled egg, or grilled fish. Their blood sugar rises more gently and stays more stable, which can mean steadier energy, less afternoon crashing, and stronger cravings later in the day. Over years, those calmer mornings can add up to healthier weight, better focus, and a lower risk of lifestyle diseases. If you recognize yourself in that white bread breakfast, don't panic. You don't have to quit overnight.
Start small. Swap one slice of soft white bread for a denser whole grain option. Or replace a sugary pastry with oatmeal topped with nuts and a little fruit.
Try doing this 3 mornings a week and pay attention to how your body feels by lunchtime.
Are you less shaky? Less desperate for sugar?
That's your body telling you that you're moving in the right direction. Japanese elders aren't magically lucky. They're consistent.
They quietly avoid foods that attack their energy and choose ones that support a calmer, more stable day. You can do the same right where you are.
Number 5, sugary breakfast cereals and healthy granola bars.
Bright boxes, crunchy flakes, honey glazed clusters. It all looks fun and harmless.
Especially when the packaging screams high fiber, whole grain, or heart healthy.
But many of these cereals and bars are basically candy in disguise, especially for a body over 60 that can't handle sugar shocks the way it used to.
If you look at what older Japanese people traditionally eat in the morning, it's usually simple, savory, and low in added sugar. You won't often see them starting their day with bowls of sweetened cereal and chocolate-coated granola bars.
And that's a big reason their energy stays steadier through the day. For seniors, the problem isn't just the sugar itself, it's the speed.
Cereals and bars are made from refined grains plus syrups, honey, or fruit concentrates.
They digest incredibly fast, sending blood sugar up like a rocket and insulin chasing right behind.
For an older person, that means an hour or two of buzzing energy, followed by a crash, irritability, brain fog, and stronger cravings. Over months and years, this constant spike and crash cycle can encourage stubborn belly fat,
Raise triglycerides,
and wear down the body's ability to keep blood sugar in a safe range. Japanese elders understand this in a very practical way. They simply avoid turning breakfast into dessert. So what can you do if cereal and bars are your morning habit? You don't have to throw everything out. Start by reading labels and cutting back to options with less sugar and more real ingredients. Then begin building a slower, steadier breakfast. Plain oats with nuts and seeds instead of sugar-coated granola. Unsweetened yogurt with a handful of berries instead of a cereal bar. Or even a small plate of eggs and vegetables a couple of times a week. Many people over 60 are shocked to find that after just a few weeks of gentler breakfasts, their 10 a.m. cravings shrink. Their mood feels smoother, and their afternoon slump almost disappears.
That's your metabolism breathing a sigh of relief. Number 4, processed red meats like sausages, bacon, and hot dogs.
In a lot of Western homes, these foods are a standard part of breakfast, barbecues, or quick dinners. They're salty, smoky, and satisfying, and for busy families, they're easy.
But if you look at what helps many Japanese elders stay active into their 80s and 90s, you'll notice they usually rely far more on fish, tofu, beans, and small portions of fresh meat, rather than heavily processed red meats.
Sausages, bacon, and hot dogs don't just come with fat, they're loaded with salt, preservatives, and compounds formed during processing and high heat cooking that can irritate the blood vessels and digestive system over time.
For someone over 60, that combination can be especially risky.
High sodium encourages the body to hold on to extra fluid, raising blood pressure and making the heart work harder.
Preservatives and certain compounds in processed meats have been linked to increased inflammation and higher risks of serious diseases when eaten regularly.
You might not feel the damage right away. It shows up slowly as stiffer arteries, more joint pain, and stronger mystery fatigue.
Japanese elders who age well tend to treat processed meats as rare treats, not daily habits.
They understand that the salt and additives are a burden their older bodies don't need.
If these meats are a big part of your routine, you can still shift gradually.
The way a wise Japanese elder might. Start by shrinking the portion, defimus porgatus, half as much bacon, sausage, or deli meat on your plate, and filling the space with grilled fish, boiled eggs, tofu, or beans. Try meatless breakfasts a couple of times a week, or swap the hot dog for a grilled chicken skewer or a bowl of miso soup with vegetables.
Many seniors notice that when they ease away from processed red meats, their rings fit better, their blood pressure responds more kindly, and their stomach feels less heavy after meals.
It's not about never enjoying these foods again. It's about choosing them rarely instead of routinely.
So your heart, joints, and brain have a better chance to stay strong. Number 3, deep-fried comfort foods and fast food combos.
Crispy chicken, French fries, onion rings, breaded fish, spring rolls, roasted. The crunch is addictive, and after a long day, it can feel like the easiest reward.
But look at many older Japanese adults who are still walking, stretching, and gardening into their 80s. Deep-fried foods are not the foundation of their weekly menu.
They might enjoy tempura or fried dishes occasionally, but not as an everyday habit. For a body over 60, that thick layer of oil around your food is a heavy burden. It combines refined flour, damaged fats from high heat frying, and often a big dose of salt and sugary sauces on top.
The trouble isn't just calories, it's inflammation and stiffness.
Those repeatedly heated oils can create compounds that quietly irritate your blood vessels and joints.
Over time, that can show up as more morning stiffness, slower recovery after walking, and stronger sense of feeling old sooner than you should.
The heavy salt load also encourages water retention and can push blood pressure higher.
Japanese elders who age gracefully tend to lean more on simmered, grilled, steamed, or lightly stir-fried dishes with much less oil. Their food can still be flavorful, but it doesn't leave a greasy film on the tongue or a brick-like feeling in the stomach. If deep-fried food is your weak spot, you don't have to become perfect overnight. Start with a simple rule. Pick baked, grilled, or air-fried options more often. Swap fried chicken for oven-baked chicken with herbs. Fries for roasted potato wedges.
Or breaded fish for plain grilled fish with lemon.
Limit full fast food combos to rare occasions instead of weekly habits. Many seniors are surprised to notice that after just a few weeks of fewer deep-fried meals, their digestion feels lighter. They sleep a bit better, and they don't wake up with the same heavy, swollen feeling in their hands and feet. And that's your body saying, thank you for making my job easier. Number 2, sugary drinks, sweetened coffee, and bottled juices. Think about how many of your daily calories you drink instead of eat. For many people over 60, it's more than they realize. Sweet tea, soft drinks,
Energy drinks, flavored lattes, fruit juices, and even vitamin waters that are loaded with sugar.
In contrast, older Japanese adults who age well typically rely on plain water, unsweetened green tea, barley tea,
And only very small amounts of sugary beverages. They understand, even if they don't use scientific words, that drinking sugar is one of the fastest ways to overload the body.
liquid sugar hits your bloodstream much faster than sugar in solid food.
No chewing, no fiber to slow it down. That means your blood sugar can spike high and crash hard, stressing your pancreas and your brain.
Over time, this pattern encourages weight gain around the belly, raises triglycerides,
And can even dull your sense of thirst, so you reach for more flavored drinks instead of simple water. For an older heart and liver, that's a lot of extra work.
Japanese elders often choose small cups of tea throughout the day instead, which gives a gentle lift without flooding the system with syrup and cream. Their drinks hydrate and calm the body instead of attacking it.
You don't have to give up your favorite drink forever, but you can start acting more like a wise Japanese elder. Begin by cutting one sugary drink per day and replacing it with water, sparkling water, or unsweetened tea.
If you love sweet coffee, slowly reduce the sugar and flavored syrups over time. Half as much this week, then a little less the next. Keep bottled juices as an occasional treat, not a daily health ritual.
Many people over 60 find that after they tame their liquid sugar, they feel less bloated.
Clothes fit more comfortably, and their energy is smoother instead of bouncing up and down.
Every sip you upgrade is a quiet investment in your future balance, memory, and independence.
Number 1, ultra-processed snacks and instant comforting foods.
Chips, cheese puffs, instant noodles, frozen dinners, microwave pizzas, packaged cookies, right? They're cheap, fast, and everywhere.
For many people over 60, these foods slowly become a daily habit. A packet while watching TV, a quick instant noodle bowl for lunch, a frozen meal when cooking feels exhausting.
But if you compare that to many older Japanese adults who stay active into their 80s and 90s, you'll notice something important. They do have snacks and treats, but their everyday food is still mostly simple and recognizable. Rice, vegetables, fish, miso soups, pickled vegetables, tofu. Not a lot of ingredient lists with 25 unpronounceable items. Ultra-processed foods packed together refined flour, damaged fats, sugars, salt, and a long list of additives your older body has to wrestle with every single day. For someone over 60, that constant stream of additives and low-quality ingredients can quietly affect almost everything. Joint pain, digestion, sleep, mood, even memory. The combination of high sodium, cheap oils, refined starches, and flavor enhancers pushes you to overeat without feeling truly nourished.
Your stomach may feel full, but your cells are still hungry for real nutrients.
Over years, this pattern can encourage stubborn belly fat, higher blood pressure, fatty liver, and more inflammation in the brain.
Japanese elders who age well don't rely on perfection. They simply avoid turning ultra-processed snacks into a daily routine.
They might enjoy something packaged once in a while, but it's not the backbone of their diet.
Their default choice is still real food, cooked in simple ways. If ultra-processed snacks are your comfort zone, trying to quit everything overnight usually backfires. Instead, borrow a gentle Japanese strategy. Shrink and swap. Shrink the portion of packaged food you eat in a day and swap part of it with something simple and recognizable.
A handful of nuts instead of a whole bag of chips. A small bowl of homemade soup instead of instant noodles.
A piece of fruit with a bit of cheese instead of cookies only.
You can also ask yourself 3 quick questions before you eat. Can I recognize most of these ingredients? Would my grandparents know what this is? Does this food leave me feeling heavy or light afterward? Those small questions can slowly move you toward the kind of everyday meals that support long-term energy instead of draining it.
Picture someone in their late 60s who eats a bag of crisps or cookies almost every night in front of the TV.
Their knees ache in the morning, their sleep is light and broken, and their clothes feel tighter every year. Now imagine they decide to act more like a wise Japanese elder.
They still sit down to watch their favorite show, but they put a small bowl of chips on the table instead of the whole bag.
And add a plate with sliced cucumber, carrots, or a few cherry tomatoes.
A couple of nights a week, they swap the chips entirely for nuts, edamame, or a little fruit and unsweetened tea. After a month, the craving starts to soften, their rings fit a bit easier,
And they notice their mood isn't crashing as hard in the afternoons.
Change is tiny from the outside, but inside, everything is getting a little calmer. Now step back and look at the full picture. These 6 foods, taine, soft white bread and pastries, sugary cereals and granola bars, processed red meats, deep-fried comfort foods, sugary drinks, and ultra-processed snacks are not poison you can never touch again. But for a body over 60, they're like a constant, low-level attack on your energy, balance, and independence when they show up every single day. Japanese elders who age gracefully aren't superhuman. They simply stack the odds in their favor. They eat in a way that keeps blood sugar steadier, blood vessels calmer, joints less inflamed, and the brain better supplied. It's not about being perfect between your tears. It's about being consistent enough that your future self says, thank you. So be honest with yourself. Which of these 6 foods is the biggest problem for you right now? Is it the bread and pastries,
the breakfast sugar, the salty meats, the fried takeaway, the sweet drinks, or the late night snacks? Tell me in the comments, and also share one small change you're willing to try this week. Maybe it's swapping your morning cereal, skipping one fast food meal, or cutting just one sugary drink a day. Never too late to protect your heart, your brain, and your mobility. If this video opened your eyes even a little, hit like, share it with a friend or family member over 60 who needs this wake-up call, and subscribe for our next video where we'll flip the script and look at what Japanese elders actually eat to stay strong, steady, and sharp well into their later years. Your future body starts with the choices you make at your very next meal.